Being consistently successful on the water is all about the little things. In the world of tournament bass fishing, mastering the fine details can translate into big outcomes. We join Z-Man pros David Walker and Stephen Browning on the water to gain insight into the nuances and adjustments that can help anglers of all skill levels turn an average day on the water into an epic one.
Nice. Oh, right there.
This is Project Z, breaking down the bite. On an early spring morning, Z-Man Pro David Walker focuses his efforts on short pockets lined with flat reed banks and submergent hydrilla clumps. As the water temperature warms into the high 50s, pre-spawn bass will instinctively funnel into these areas in preparation for their annual bedding ritual. David notices a school of baitfish swimming near his boat, a sure sign that bass will use the underwater grass edge as a wall to ambush an easy meal before beginning to spawn. With his electronics revealing the hydrilla edge sitting in 5 to 6 feet of water, David positions his boat about 10 yards off the bank and casts parallel to the underwater grass edge to keep his lure in the strike zone as long as possible. Mimicking the bait he saw earlier, David chooses a search lure, a 3/8-ounce Project Z swim jig paired with a 4-inch diesel minnows trailer to cover water quickly. The jig's unique planing surface prevents it from rolling or fouling, and its heavy-duty 4/0 Mustad Ultra Point provides the strength needed to fight and land big fish from thick cover. The super soft diesel minnows is a superior trailer choice, as its realistic swimming action and extreme durability enable David to quickly and aggressively work it through vegetation all day long without having to replace or re-rig it. David casts his swim jig on a 7'5" heavy extra fast action rod paired with an 8-to-1 high-speed retrieve baitcaster spooled with braided line. His rod has enough power to deliver a hard hook set and move the fish into open water as quickly as possible, and his braid cuts through vegetation better than fluorocarbon with virtually no stretch. This not only helps with a strong hook set needed to drive the jig into the fish's mouth, but also aids in maneuvering it away from the dense vegetation he's keyed in on. The key to David's presentation of the Project Z swim jig is allowing the jig to maintain contact with the grass line and then begin a steady stop-and-go retrieve back to the boat. It's important to keep the jig moving and deflecting through the hydrilla strands. As the jig ticks through the cover, David makes a few upward pops with his wrist to create a deflection. The change in direction will help trigger a reaction strike from the fish looking to take advantage of an injured baitfish. After feeling the fish inhale the jig, David drops his rod tip slightly, creating slack and allowing him to generate the rod speed needed to deliver an extremely hard hook set. He then reels up quickly, driving the hook into the fish's mouth. The combination of his zero-stretch braided line, powerful hook set, and extra high-speed retrieve reel enabled David to take control of the bass quickly. Immediately heading deeper into the grass in an effort to break off, David pulls hard and begins to reel as fast as he can in order to change the fish's head direction and move it towards the boat and away from the cover. By doing so, he's able to control the fish, as well as move it into open water where he can then land it. Understanding pre-spawn bass behavior and utilizing a search bait paired with the optimal rod, reel, and line setup to cover water quickly, David Walker puts himself in the perfect position to successfully break down the bite.
Now that is a swim jig fish right there.